Wayzata Trojans at home to take on the Hopkins Royals. Hello and welcome to Wayzata High School. John Jacobson and Ryan Iverson. Ryan, these teams very familiar with each other, play each other twice during the season, often a third time in the section playoffs, as they did last year. This is round two for 2017-2018. Hopkins winning the first time last month, 77-70 over at the Lindbergh Center.
Well, it was at Hopkins, like you mentioned, and you know, Wayzata is known for being very, very efficient shooting the basketball. They spread you out. They're very unselfish. They'll make that extra pass. They didn't shoot well that game. They were in the 30%. So Coach Snedler said they got to shoot the ball a lot better tonight, because against Hopkins, who's so athletic, so long, and I've said it for years, they create so many turnovers, and not only do they do that, but they turn it into offense instantly. So you're going to have to shoot the ball well tonight against this Hopkins team.
Hopkins started the season with a loss to Creighton-Durham Hall. They haven't lost since, 22-1 coming into tonight's game.
Well, and you talk to Coach Novak, you'd think they were below 500. And that's what makes him so great, is that he's always working on his team, grinding, and they're getting better and better and better. And they've won a bunch of different ways too, John. They've won some slow physical games, and they have the size, the athleticism to do that. But they can get up and down too, averaging 81 points per game. So they can score, they protect the rim, and they get out and run. Their transition offense is as good as anyone in the state.
Wayzata is definitely a younger team than a year ago, and they have that great veteran group that played together for so many years. 14-7 on the season, 7 of their 9 rotation players underclassmen, but they've been playing better basketball. The exception, Coach Snedler mentioned the first half against Eastridge here about 10 days ago, but overall playing some good basketball. He thinks their kids can give Hopkins a game tonight. Obviously the big thing to contend with is the length that Hopkins presents them.
Well, of their 7 losses, I think all of them are to ranked opponents, or no, being in a different class, but it's not like they have had an easy schedule. They haven't had any bad losses. They beat a very good Eden Prairie team a couple nights ago, so they're capable when they shoot the ball well. And I imagine being at home, they're going to be geared up for this game. They're going to have a big crowd behind them. They shoot the ball well, John. They can beat anyone one single night.
Let's look at our key players, starting with the Royals, and Anthony Davis, one of their guards, really can play a strong game, especially on offense.
Well, he does everything. He's a great defender, number one. He plays the passing lanes. He gets a lot of transition offense, but he's their senior. He's kind of their glue guy too. When things do break down or baskets are tough to come by, he's the guy you can give the ball, and he's a great shooter. He's a great slasher. He's also very unselfish too. I love watching Anthony Davis play.
And for Wayzata, we've talked about what great outside shooters they've had through the years, especially the last few. Drew Gallinson certainly in that category.
Well, Gallinson, he's averaging over 13 a game. He shoots 45% from the three-point line. I mean, that's NBA Steph Curry-esque, if you will. But that's just very symbolic of Wayzata. They get a lot of good looks. I love watching their offense because it's constant movement, ball swinging from side to side, and they're going to need to hit from the perimeter, and he's going to have a big game tonight. 3, 4, 5 three-pointers. You want to bring that length to Hopkins, John, away from the basket so that it opens up some driving lanes as well.
Should be a good one here tonight. Hopkins, Wayzata, Lake Conference boys basketball coming up next live here on CCX Sports.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
We are live at Wayzata High School on this Friday night. John Jacobson and Ryan Iverson getting ready for this Lake Conference clash between the Hopkins Royals and the Wayzata Trojans. Teams being introduced out on the floor as we give you the starting 5 for each of these clubs tonight. Starting with the visiting Royals, 22-1, 5-0 in the Lake Conference. Zeke Najee is 6'10", junior forward. Joe Hedstrom, 7-foot senior, is the center. The guards, Blaze Beauchamp, 6'1", sophomore. Kerwin Walton, the 6'3", sophomore, and Anthony Davis, 6'3" senior. For the Wayzata Trojans, forward Tanner Jonas, 6'5", senior. guard Jacob Benega, averaging 20 points a game. 5'10" junior. Luke Paulson, a 6' junior. Drew Gallinson, a 6'2" senior. And Keaton Heidi, a 6'3" junior.
If it seems like there's been years and years of Benega, it's because there has. And I got some good news for Wayzata fans, bad news for everyone else. There's still another one coming up through the youth basketball. So those kids, all of them, you know, from the oldest to the youngest, they are tough, hard-nosed, just leaders, and they play the right way. And it's been fun as a broadcaster, John, to see the whole family kind of come through.
And plus, Eddie, who's a freshman on this year's team, in addition to Jacob, and Coach Schnetler was telling me 2 years ago, he said 2 years ago, Jacob played his first varsity game against Hopkins.
I remember that.
And now here he is, a starter, and really having a great season.
Yep. I'll tell you what stands out. We're sitting right on the court here. When you watch Hopkins waiting for the jump ball, I mean, it looks like a college front line. You got Big Joe Hedstrom at 7 foot, Zeke Nagy at 6'10". I mean, just some unbelievable length for a high school basketball team.
And we are underway. Not surprisingly, Hopkins winning the opening tap. Beauchamp on the wing, and nice give and go there, and an easy lay-in for Kerwin Walton.
It almost looked like that was a design play to start the game, and saw something on tape, and Kenny Novak went right to it. Beautiful give and go, and no help side defense for Wayzata. Easy 2 points.
Paulson, one dribble, gives it to Drew Gallinson. Jonas out on the wing to Gallinson, and back out front. Paulson, Benega left wing. Paulson drive, kick out to Gallinson. Benega open three is good.
When you can see, I mean, the constant movement, they're getting into the paint, drawing the defenders, and able to just keep going until they get a jump shot. There's a tie-up. That's something Coach Novak talked about, John. Wayzata, there's a good look at Kenny Novak Jr. in his 29th season. He's a staple for Minnesota high school basketball, but he talked to Wayzata would double that first pass, and then sure enough, they did it.
Benega, great ditch off for Jonas, nowhere to go with it initially, gives it back. Benega, another tough shot for two-pointer, up and in. And unable to score at the other end, and back comes Wayzata. Out of bounds, and Wayzata turns it over, and it's back over to Hopkins with a 5-2 Wayzata lead. Brian Schnetler, fourth-year head coach, helped lead the Trojans to their first state tournament appearance since 1959 last year. 28-4 record, and a third-place finish at state.
Well, and they also added John Bryant, who that name sounds familiar. He's from, Armstrong High School back in the 90s, and he was a phenomenal player. I think he's brought a lot of street cred to this team. That's Zeke Nagy's game right there. You get penetration. He's so athletic, grabs that ball above the rim. So not only do you have to defend Hopkins' athleticism, but then you got to box out because they got that tremendous length on the weak side.
Gallinson hands it off. It's Luke Paulson. Heidi, couple dribbles. And over to Jonas. They swing it right side. Gallinson. He can shoot from the outside, and there he connects his first shot and his first three tonight.
I thought that ball was going to hit the ceiling. I mean, he got great arc on it. And that's when you're playing Gallinson, you're playing Benega, you got to get up, and there's a reach-in foul. You don't want to give them any space. Watch the defender here. Just for a second, you can see you can see Kerwin Walton, he kind of goes for that jab and backs up, and that's all Gallinson needs. He's a tremendous three-point shooter. Again, 45% on the year, which is phenomenal at the high school level.
Walton, the Nagy, Beauchamp. Starts a baseline, then a nice little move on Benega and draws another foul. And on Benega, that's going to be two early fouls here in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Well, that was a smart move by Beauchamp and a really nice in and out dribble back. And sometimes when you're going against a great player, which Benega is, you go right at him, you get him into foul trouble. He's going to have to sit now for a few minutes. So that was a smart play by Beauchamp and makes him pay at the free throw line.
Number 3, Connor Hale.
5'11" junior, number 3 now in replacing Benega. That's a big loss for Wayzata if he has to sit for any length of time.
And you add into his 2 shots from the perimeter and didn't hardly touch net either. They were so pure. He's a big scorer for them, a big part of what they're doing on offense and just as a leader. So that's a big loss. That's a smart play by Blaise Beauchamp.
Makes both free throws, makes it an 8-6 game. Nice little handoff. Paulson can't get it to connect. Hedstrom, quick outlet to Davis, driving, can't finish. Najee there to clean up.
Again, you could see Anthony Davis, as soon as that shot went up, he leaked out, knowing he's got that size behind him. Joe Hedstrom, big rebound, outlet to the head. Davis misses it, but there's Zeke Najee with his athleticism and his second offensive rebound conversion into a basket.
Gallinson to Hale into Jonas, and he's fouled by Hedstrom. Hedstrom, I think, thought it maybe had gone straight up here. And he gets called for the foul.
Well, and you give Jonas bonus points. You go right into a shot blocker's chest, and you force the referee to make that call. Whether it was a foul or not, who knows, but you force the guy to call that. And on Hopkins, if you can get Joe Hedstrom out of the game, he's not scoring a ton, averaging under 10 points, but just having a 7-footer in there for rebounding and shot blocking, that's huge if you could get him into foul trouble.
Long rebound comes to Gallinson. Great dish off to Jonas. So they don't get the free throws, but they end up with 2 points on the possession anyway.
How Gallinson at 6'2" comes away with that offensive rebound, I don't know.
Najee right down the lane. He's got 6 points.
And I think that's what he's really added this year as the season's gone on, too. He's not just an athletic finisher. He's got that 1 or 2 dribble explosion, and he's so long, you're not going to block his shot. And he's quick. For 6'10", he's got a tremendous first step.
Hale drives, kind of ran out of real estate there, and it's a turnover. Walton lobs it into the corner to Beauchamp. Back out, Davis. Najee's open, baseline miss, out of bounds off Davis.
I know Najee missed that, but I love Anthony Davis had a good shot, and he got his teammate a great shot. That was a really unselfish pass. And again, that's that little 10 to 15-foot jump shot, Najee at 6'10". He can knock that down pretty consistently.
Camden Heidi, number 23, 6'4", 8th grader into the game, along with Grant Bokovitz. He's a 6'4" sophomore, number 25. Hale drives, Gallinson, his second three.
And it's the second time Kerwin Walton has lost Gallinson. And we used to have a whiteout mentality against a great shooter where you cannot leave him. You leave him, it's as good as goal. There's a nice stop and go. That's the old Tom Cruise move in Top Gun. You hit the brakes, defender flies right by. Nice job by Beauchamp.
13-12 Wayzata. Great start to this one in the first 4.5 minutes of play. Heidi well short on that one. Camden Heidi and out of bounds to Hopkins.
Well, and Heidi's played quite a bit, significant time as an 8th grader, averaging 5 points. But I don't care, when you're in 8th grade and you're coming into a big-time varsity matchup against Hopkins with that length and athleticism, you want your first shot to maybe be a little easier, a layup or a 5-footer. It's tough to come right into the game and shoot a 3.
McKean Woods into the game, number 3, went baseline, loose ball. Najee's got it. Beauchamp went up in the air. Came back down, gives it to Davis. Open look at a 3, long on it, and rebounded by Bokovitz.
Well, that was a great block out by Bokovitz there.
Cody Williams is in for Wayzata, number 22 now, as they back it out. Paulson puts it on the floor, out to Williams. Left side, it's Hale in the corner to Paulson. Back out to Hale, Williams. Wayzata patient here, Williams, Paulson. Look at the 3.
Oh, beautiful looking shot, but how difficult is that offense to defend, right? You got 10 or 15 dribble drive, pass, dribble handoffs. I'll tell you, it's hard enough even at the pro level to get defenses to play for 10, 20 seconds, much less high school. That was just great patience. And they'll keep running it until you overhelp and they get an open look. And Paulson makes them pay. They got some great shooters. And if they're knocking those down, like I said in the pregame, John, they can beat anybody.
Davis gets trapped, but able to release the pass to Woods. Najee Comes back out with the pass to Woods. Swinging left side. Beauchamp driving at it, stripped away. And then Heidi has it taken away by Najee. His finger roll won't go, and taken back by Camden Heidi.
Yeah, Najee kind of came out of the woodworks there, and I don't think he saw him able to get another possession out of it, but unable to finish.
Luke Paulson, another three. My goodness, 5 3-pointers for Wayzata.
Well, remember what I said, John, in the pregame? They were going to have to make a lot of threes, and they've certainly done that here. Watch Paulson. He's a good 6-7 feet behind that three-point line. No hesitation whatsoever, and I think they're feeling it. Definitely shooting better than they did the first time around against Hopkins.
Look at the Lake Conference standings coming into play tonight. Hopkins 5-0, a game and a half lead here on Wayzata. A chance for the Trojans certainly to tighten it up here with a win. Eden Prairie, good overall mark, but they're 2-3 in the conference. Edina 2-4, and Minnetonka winless in conference games.
Well, it's a small conference, obviously, to begin with, but it's tough. Even Edina and the way they play. And Minnetonka, I've seen a couple times this year. Talent might be down a little, but they're tough, and they got some good players too. So there's no easy games on those schedules, on that Lake Conference schedule.
Well, Hopkins down 7 here, thanks to the hot outside shooting of the Wayzata Trojans. Davis out to Woods. He's open for a three and hit. Sakeen Woods, 6'3" senior, the first bench points tonight on either side.
Well, again, I thought Anthony Davis might have had a little layup there and just made that extra pass. And that's a big three, big knockdown there for Woods.
There's Paulson to Williams. Williams penetrates that. It's stripped away. Najee back the other way. And then a turnover by Hopkins. It's taken back by the Trojans. Bokovitz has it, and now it's into the front court. Heidi to Paulson, and has it out top. Off for Hale, left side. Hale, nice little crossover dribble, kicks it back out. Williams to the corner. Hale thought about it, but Najee's right there. Inside they go. Camden Heidi up and in.
Oh, beautiful up and under. Got the defender up in the air. Uses that basket as a protector. Nice job by the 8th grader, which is just phenomenal. Yeah, smart play.
Inside and 2 easy points for Dane Zimmer, his first basket tonight, 6'7" junior reserve.
Well, he's 6'7". He's going against a 6'4" 8th grader on defense. They got to, if you're going to play an 8th grader physically, you're just not quite ready as some of these seniors. You got to punish him on the other end.
Williams off balance shot up and in.
That is such a tough shot, John. You're dribbling full speed to your left. You got a shot blocker coming.
Good ball movement. Najee can't finish, but he's fouled.
You know, and that's one of those, he's got to finish that. Even though he got fouled, he's going to get free throws. Beautiful job breaking that little double team, but that's where when you're a big fella like that, you want to punish the rim. Instead of going to get contact, I always tell young players too, don't worry about contact, worry about making it. The contact and the three-point plays will come. But you can see he's got a nice stroke as he knocks down his first free throw.
Gallinson back in for the Trojans. Also Keaton Heidi and Tanner Jonas. Second free throw not good. Rebounded though by Zimmer. He gets it out and Hopkins retains possession. Beauchamp puts it on the floor but cut off by Paulson. Davis going through the hands of Najee. Woods had a shot at it, and it ends up with Williams for Wayzata with the basketball, and he'll bring it up here with a 5-point Trojans lead as we approach the midway point of the first half. Here's Paulson. Heidi with it. And back for Luke Paulson. Keaton Heidi, a three.
You know, again, beautiful offense. 5, 6, 7 passes, dribble, drive. You overhelp, and that's what happens. When you got 4 or 5 guys that can knock threes down, John, you can't afford to help and recover.
Davis right
nice
through the
pass.
leg. Great dish off for Zimmer.
Again, you're seeing Davis. One of the strengths of his game is he can score, averaging over 15, but he's a great playmaker too. He sets his teammates up really well. That was a great pass. Yep.
Heidi traveled.
Yep, nice call. You know, and you can really look at the start of this game in two ways. One, Wayzata shooting the heck out of the basketball, and Hopkins not defending that, but they're only down 6 even with that. So the question is going to be, can Wayzata sustain that, John? Can they sustain that shooting level?
Davis off the inbound, too strong. Hedstrom follow-up, that won't go. Ball tipped around, and now Wayzata out running. 2-on-1, Hale to Gallinson, and one.
Beautiful job. That whole play really was made because of the box out of Tanner Jonas. They gets out the 2-on-1, and there's definitely contact. That's how you run. That's why you run every day in practice, John. You work on sprinting the floor, and you get a good look, unselfish play, and a chance for a three-point play.
And he knew that contact was coming.
Do you see how he finished in front of him, though? When guys bring the ball back, that's when you allow guys to get those come from behind blocks.
Davis into the front court. He'll take it to the basket and score, and on one.
That was that Euro step. It's just a really tough move to guard. You're there to take a charge, and you can do that kind of that side swap, if you will, and it kind of looks like a travel, but it's not. And Anthony Davis gets hit on the head. He's got his own chance for a three-point play.
Long on the free throw, but rebounded by the Royals. Davis gets it back, misses, and over the back comes Zimmer.
Well, nice box out by Keaton Heidi there, giving up some size, but that's the thing. If you box out, you force guys to go over your back. Nice job.
Third team foul on Hopkins. 4 in the first half so far for Wayzata. We're under 8 minutes to play. Wayzata in the lead by 7. Hale and his pass was intercepted. Here comes Davis back running to Beauchamp. Well, won't go. Zimmer fouls up.
Even though Beauchamp missed that, did you see how fast off of that steal they got down the floor? Anthony Davis, kind of that point forward, gets it and is gone, and they get down in a hurry. You better sprint back on defense. And a nice job, too, on the offensive rebound by Zimmer.
Gallinson in some traffic, out for Williams. Back out, Gallinson thought about it, but Davis was coming out on him and gives it to Jonas. Gallinson releasing it back to Jonas, knocked away. Back come the Royals. They get another steal. Davis, a little out of control there, and rebounded by Jonas. Williams into the front court.
I thought that time if Davis just would have finished up top, there was no one that was going to be able to block that shot. And a rare miss from 3.
It might be a first missed 3 they've had tonight. They've made 6 already.
Nice look.
Zimmer up and in and 1.
Well, the two things that make that play, John, one, you got Beauchamp driving. Watch his head. Watch his vision. He's looking. He knows he's going to beat him. See his eyes? And then you give, a ton of credit, too, to Zimmer moving without the basketball. A lot of guys stand still while their teammates are penetrating. And that's the old rule. Your defender's not watching you. You got to move. Get to an open spot. Great pass, but you also give a lot of credit to Zimmer getting into a position where he could catch and score.
Zimmer 9 first half points off the bench.
Well, he averages 8.8, so he's got his average already here in the first half. And that's what great teams will do. You'll get guys that aren't used to maybe stepping up in the scoring, on the road against a tough opponent. Really done a nice job.
7 points in a row for Hopkins and a turnover by Wayzata.
And that's the presence of Joe Hedstrom, right? Knowing the big guys coming over, you take your eyes up just for a second.
Beauchamp into the front court. Kerwin Walton. Certainly capable of scoring. One basket tonight. Missed shot and long. Rebounded by Keaton Heidi. Here comes Paulson, front court. He'll take it all the way to the back, and then kick it out to Paulson, or to Gallinson, who hits.
What a pass. That was just a great pass by Paulson. I thought he was going to go up with it, John. He just did such a good job of driving into the teeth of the defense.
Beauchamp missed Hedstrom, but we'll get a foul before the follow-up shot by Hedstrom.
I don't know how that wasn't an and one. Look at this, just a beautiful play. Drives all 5 Hopkins defenders. And Gallinson, after a rare miss on the last shot, gets it from about the same spot. He just buries it.
Jacob Benega, who sat nearly 10 minutes of game clock, is back in to the game, Ryan. 5:46 to play. Had those 2 early fouls, but they feel they need his presence back on the court.
Well, I think if you're Wayzata, you're feeling great. Without your leading scorer, you were able to score the ball pretty well.
And Whistle will get another Wayzata foul. Keaton Heidi thought he got more ball than, and
there's definite contact.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you watch NBA games and these guys foul and you think you tried to steal from them. They're just mesmerized that it was a foul, and that time clearly a foul. And DJ Davis, here's another 6'4" and long, great athlete coming off the bench. So Hopkins just keeps replenishing with just super long athletic guys.
DJ Davis hitting both of his free throw tries. Back to 3-point game at 32-29. Luke Paulson front court, a little out of control, missed the shot, and Hedstrom rebounds.
Well, I like the idea there. Hedstrom, I thought, did a good job of just holding his ground.
DJ Davis, Beauchamp, he can certainly shoot the 3, not this time. And it's the top of the basket out of play. It's over to Wayzata. Hopkins in the bonus the rest of the way. Wayzata with the basketball and a 3-point lead. Nice little dish off, and Benega unable to finish. Here comes Beauchamp. Pull up from 14 up and in.
And again, they got a rebound. You can see they were gone. Got the numbers 3 on 2. And Beauchamp, you're taught to keep going until someone stops you. No one stopped the ball. And that's not an easy shot when you're going full court like that with the little teardrop floater. But he knocks it down. He's got all those kind of shots in his arsenal.
Benega off to Paulson. Camden Heidi, one dribble. Gallinson in some traffic, back out. Benega, Gallinson left side. Walton right on him. Jonas, the baseline, back out. Benega to Gallinson. They'll go baseline. Tough shot over Hedstrom. Can't get it to go. Zimmer, outlets. Beauchamp with it. Left wing. To Walton, knocked away by Gallinson, out of bounds. Hopkins basketball.
Well, again, great defense by Joe Hedstrom. Just being big.
Right.
Sometimes, especially at this level, when there's so few 7-footers, all you have to do is be big. You don't have to block every shot. You can just alter the shots. And I thought he did a nice job. And guys are trying to get him into foul trouble. So he's always going to have that target on his back. So far, I think he's doing an excellent job playing defense without fouling.
Anthony Davis and Zeke Naji back in at that last whistle for Hopkins. DJ Davis missed on the jumper. Gallinson rebounds, and it's in the hands of Benega with under 4 minutes to go in the half.
Oh, another excellent box out, too, by Gallinson there to get that rebound.
Benega rises up and hits.
He's got that smooth offense, right? That 1-2 quick crossovers into a really nice-looking jump shot.
Naji in some traffic turns around and scores.
And I think if Hopkins can do that and look for him, he's so long, he can just turn and get his shot, John, whenever he wants to. They're either going to have to front him or try to deny that catch and turn because he's just too long for anyone on the Wayzata team to really defend that.
Hopkins led 2-0, but Wayzata's had the lead since. Got it up to 9, but now it's just 1. Gallinson, step back 3, way short. Jonas grabs the offensive rebound to Williams. Back out, Gallinson, he'll try another one. Too long this time, and rebounded by Walton, who gives it off to
beautiful
Davis,
pass.
scored and won.
What a nice pass. Walton that time taking his turn at the point guard. I didn't think he was going to see Davis, and look at that pass right between two Wayzata defenders, and Davis able to catch it and get that off. Way to run the fast break. After rare 2 misses from Gallatin, he's going to sit down now with 2 fouls as well.
Paulson back in, Gallatin out. Davis unable to connect again, but Najee, offensive rebound, that doesn't go down though. Davis to Najee one more time, and that one's in.
And that's that length, right? They're just relentless because it's not 1 or 2 guys, it's 3 or 4 guys that are long and able to get that. You got to eliminate second chance points against Hopkins.
Hopkins fans starting to get into it now. 4-point possession that last time down the court, and the Royals in the lead. Paulson draws a double team out high. We're down to 2:20 to play here in the first half. Paulson will dribble it back out high. Bounce pass to Jonas. Benega rises up and in, and he's fouled.
I like how quickly he came off that and kind of looked like he was going to penetrate. It was a little hesitation, froze the defender. Watch how quick he goes into a shot right there. And able to shoot through the contact. That's a tough move. When you got that kind of length coming from one from behind, one in front of you, for him to get that off, concentration to make it while getting fouled, that was an impressive move.
Fouls on DJ Davis, his first. Benega, a 90% free throw shooter. Missed it. Davis. Lob goes down to Najee. There's 2 more.
And that time they tried to front him with Jonas, and there was no weak side help. It was an easy throw, good angle on that pass. And I'll tell you, Najee just does a nice job. He catches it, he keeps it up high, and he's able to finish before there's any help coming.
13 first half points for the 6'9" junior.
You see Hopkins doing a little bit better job staying up on those shooters, not giving them any space. We saw it early on in the game. There's a travel. But Wayzata was getting those good looks. Hopkins allowing maybe a little bit more dribble drive, but staying home on those shooters.
Hale back in, Benega out. They're going to make sure he doesn't pick up a third foul with under a minute and a half to go before halftime. Anthony Davis, drive.
What a move.
Up and in again.
You see the angle, too, that he went on that? I mean, he had to get just the right kind of spin and loft on that shot. That was very, very nice.
Biggest lead of the game for the Royals, 5 points. The minute to go. Paulson, that jumper won't go. Rebounded by Najee. Now it's Walton with the basketball. Looking for Hedstrom, who's calling for it on the low block. Joe Hedstrom up and in. His first basket. And Hopkins has started to open up a lead here right before halftime. They're on a 23-7 run right now. 30 seconds to play in the half. Hale for Paulson. Camden Heide. Under 20 to go, hands off for Williams. Under 10 to go. Jonas to Williams. Paulson, long 3. Missed it, and that'll be the end of the first half. Wayzata very strong early, especially shooting the 3 ball. And they will open up a lead of 9, but missed some shots, had some turnovers later, and Hopkins goes into the lead at halftime. Let's go to Ryan Iverson.
Thanks, John. Coach, they came out, they shot the heck out of the basketball. I thought you guys did a nice job adjusting and staying home a little bit better on their shooters.
Yeah, I mean, you can't give as much weak side help. They're kind of running a little bit of dribble, drive, penetration, and kick, and that's tough on us, to tell you the truth, because our bigs have to cover a lot of ground. I thought we did a decent job getting the ball back inside, which we didn't do early.
I was going to say, as the half went on, I thought your length really came to play. Najee, but also second chance on offensive rebounds.
Oh, we just started getting the ball in, then they got to start helping. We got more opportunity. We were too far away from the basket before.
I was saying it was all coaching. Is that correct?
I wish it was.
Hey, good luck in the second half, Coach. All right, back to you, John.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Thanks to Coach Novak. We'll hear from Brian Schneller before the start of the second half. It's Hopkins 43, Wayzata 36. We're back with more Lake Conference basketball on CCX after this timeout.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Hopkins students who have come over tonight. These teams playing a big game in girls basketball, number 2 versus number 3 in the state over at the Lindbergh Center. For the boys game, the Royals have come back to lead by 7, 43-36 after falling behind by 9 points. So look at the rankings in the state in Class 4A coming into play tonight. Cretin-Derham Hall 19-1 on the season. Their only loss came to Hopkins, who's number 2 at 22-1. Or Hopkins' only loss, rather, was to Cretin. My mistake. And Lakeville North then is number 3. Apple Valley is ranked 4th, defending state 4A champions. Eastridge ranked 5th. Rochester John Marshall number 6. Tartan is ranked 7th. North St. Paul 8th. Champlain Park, who defeated Eden Prairie last night, is ranked 9th. And Park Center comes in at number 10. Let's look at some highlights from the first half of play. Benega with 3. As I mentioned, Wayzata really hitting the 3-ball early. Jacob Benega hitting 1. Hopkins, you heard Coach Novak say, and you could see for yourself in the first half getting a lot of their points inside. That size advantage really taking a toll at times on the Trojans, and Wayzata continuing to shoot well. Drew Gallinson there with a 3. The transition game working for Hopkins. The layup missed by Davis, but Najee using again that length to follow up and hit a 3 ball from Drew Gallinson. Had 3 of them in the first half. For a kick-out pass there, Akeem Woods nailing a 3 ball. Turned out to be the only made 3-pointer for Hopkins. They don't shoot a ton of them, or haven't shot a ton of them tonight. Great finish there by Gallinson, who scored, and he drew the foul. Lays Beauchamp. Great runner for Beauchamp, the sophomore, able to connect. And then Walton with a terrific pass to Anthony Davis, who finished for the and one. Pep band, the spirit band for Wayzata in attendance tonight to entertain the fans here at halftime. Our halftime score is 43-36. Hopkins on top of Wayzata. We're back with more Lake Conference basketball on CCX in a moment.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
John Jacobson and Ryan Iverson. We are here at Wayzata High School tonight. Lake Conference boys basketball, 43-36. The second-ranked Royals are leading. Let's go back to Ryan, who's standing by now with Brian Schnettler.
Thanks, John. Coach, what'd you tell the kids at halftime?
We just got to play hard every defensive possession. Obviously, they're a lot bigger than us. We got to have all 5 guys fighting on defensive glass, and they've scored a lot in transition, and that's partially some shots we took that were a little quick that we got to take better ones.
Foul trouble with Benninga there did that, but it seemed like your offense continued to roll along even with him on the bench.
It hurt having him get 2 quick ones, and we had 3 other guys I think get quick ones too, and not quick ones, we get 2 fouls, and hurt us on the boards more than anything, and it's a tough one for us. We got to fight like crazy to get those things.
Last thing, what do you got to do differently to win this game?
Got to rebound, take better shots. If we do that, it kind of eliminates their transition because we can shoot the heck out of the ball. So got to keep that going.
Well, it's fun to watch. Good luck in the second half, Coach. See ya. Back to you, John.
Thank you, Ryan. Thanks to both coaches for taking a few moments with us. If we look at our scoring leaders from the first half of this game, Zeke Najee, 13 points to lead Hopkins. Dane Zimmer, 9 points off the bench. Beauchamp and Anthony Davis, 6 points apiece. Drew Gallinson with 12. 9 of them came on 3-pointers. Jacob Bannigan with 9. Luke Paulson with 6. So 7-point margin at halftime as we get ready for start of the second half of this one. So, Ryan, for you, as you look at the stats here from the first half, the 3-point shooting, you can't complain about 58%, but yet they're down 7 at halftime.
Well, the thing I look at, John, look at how many more field goals Hopkins has, 35-24. That's 11 more field goals. And obviously the 3-point shooting, all advantage goes to Wayzata. But then on the flip side, you're taking high percentage shots if you're Hopkins because you got that height. I mean, Zeke Najee had, 6 or 7 easy baskets within 2 or 3 feet of the rim. And then getting to the free throw line, too. That's how you combat against a really good 3-point shooting team. And the lastly, I was talking to Coach Schnettler even before we did the interview.
he just said, we got to stop transition. You can see they're taking some early threes. Hopkins gets out and leaks, and they had a ton of points in transition. So I think if they can rebound and stop transition, they're going to be just fine. 7 points to a team that shoots like they do is 2 possessions, basically, and you're back in it.
This team certainly could play again, as we talked about in the pregame, a third time in the 6-4A tournament. Just a couple weeks left in the regular season. Last regular season games for most teams, Friday, March 2nd. Just 2 weeks away now. And for Hopkins, just a couple of games left. They got Eden Prairie and Minnetonka, and that's it for their regular season schedule. Wayzata still has Eden Prairie, Minnetonka, and Edina, plus a non-conference game at De La Salle next Friday. Kerwin Walton gets Hopkins started here in the second half.
Another set play. It looked like he was cutting. Defense jumped to take that away. He just stepped back, read the defense, got a nice look at 3, and only their second three-pointer, Hopkins. But a nice way to start out in the second half.
Keaton Heide misses on a 3 for Wayzata. Hopkins got possession and now a 10-point lead, their biggest of the ball game. Skip pass across to Beauchamp. Hedstrom turns on the block and scores.
You know, he doesn't have a ton of offensive moves, but if he can catch the ball in that position and just turn over his left shoulder, a little right-hand jump hook, I mean, it's virtually unguardable at this level with that kind of height and reach. Beautiful, quick move.
Wayzata's missed its first 2 3-point tries here to begin the second half. Beauchamp 3 that comes out and rebounded by Paulson.
That's one of those where, as your coach, if he makes it, it's a great shot, and if you miss it, that was too quick of a shot. But that was one of those momentum shots. If that goes in, it kind of sucks the momentum out of the gym.
Another miss for Wayzata. Walton to Hedstrom inside, turns and scores again. 7 quick points.
Well, and I thought that was defended pretty well. Hedstrom was fading from the basket, but you can see 7 quick points. That's what championship caliber teams do when you're on the road, close games. You come out of the halves. It's how you start the second half. I always think is really, really important.
We've got a full week of basketball next week here on CCX, starting on President's Day. Non-conference game, Maranatha Christian Academy, ranked in Class 2A at home against Holy Family. That's Monday night. And then girls basketball and boys basketball doubleheader Tuesday at Maple Grove High School as rivals Osseo and Maple Grove go at it. Girls at 5:30, boys at about 7:15. And then next Friday, Champlain Park at Armstrong. In a Northwest Suburban Conference game, the Rebels, we knew how much they lost last year, and they have really put together quietly a nice season. We saw the rankings at halftime, ranked 9th in the state, beat Eden Prairie last night. Nice little move by Jonas.
Yeah, nice left hand, taking the ball away from the shot blocker, able to finish. That was much needed basket out of a timeout.
Najee to the basket, takes it to the rack and scores 2 more. He's got 15.
That's the problem when you gamble against Hopkins and you don't get home and get that steal. You can see Zeke Najee with, I mean, just explosive, quick first step, and then when he leaps, I mean, he's well above the rim. There's no one that's going to be able to defend that shot.
Benega gets himself open. Won't go. Hedstrom rebounds. Those are the shots that were falling the first half that aren't falling so far here early in the second. Beauchamp drives. That shot won't go. Najee got whacked across the face. He's a little slow to get back up court. Paulson's open. Drives through traffic. Off to Benega. Back for Paulson. That 3 is short and rebounded by Najee. He'll leave it for Beauchamp. Ball tipped, deflected, and Wayzata gets the steal. Gallinson with it. He'll drive on Davis, up and one.
He's not just a shooter, and he's had a couple of those nice drives and finishes at the basket. Another chance for a 3-point play. Watch him use his left hand. See where he keeps this ball away, and 2 strong hands, because you know guards are going to slap down on that. If you can absorb that and finish with either hand, that's when you can become really dangerous. Nice job by Drew Gallinson.
Fouls on Anthony Davis, his second. Nobody in this game with more than 2 fouls. And Gallinson is a good free throw shooter in his own right. Made 2 tonight. the three-point play, and he's got 15 in the game. But Hopkins leads by 11. They're up 7 at halftime. Walton. Davis quickly to Beauchamp. Left corner three.
Beautiful ball movement, a quick reversal, and Beauchamp doesn't need a lot of time to get that shot off. He's got such a quick release. He knocks down his first 3 of the game. Hopkins starting to shoot a little bit better here from the perimeter, and something tells you that's just going to open more up underneath the basket.
Boy, and Wayzata not shooting well as Paulson misses on a 3. Last possession, Ryan.
Well, and you can see, again, a little confusion on Wayzata. Benega, who's been guarding Beauchamp, gets caught on the other guy. Quick reversal. And that's what shooters do. They might have missed 2, 3, 4 in a row. You got to be ready to shoot the ball.
Edstrom just still above the block. Was the opposite baseline. Ball knocked away from Davis. And Benega has it for the Trojans. Keaton Heide back out. Gallinson will drive. Tough against Hedstrom and Zimmer. Long length there, and the Royals end up with the ball. Walton.
They keep attacking right at Hedstrom. He's doing a really nice job of playing defense without fouling.
Davis to Zimmer.
You know, we don't keep track of assists, but I bet Davis has 6 or 7 of them on the night. Driving that baseline, you can see that his head is up the whole time. He's just trying to draw a defender and give his teammate a really easy look at the basket. And how about Zimmer coming into tonight? I think he's up to, 11 points already on the game.
Gallinson got knocked down. Volkovich, it was tipped. It gets it in the backcourt and hands off for Hale. Benega curls around. He'll attack the basket and score.
That time he didn't go into Hedstrom. He avoided the contact, which was smart. Able to get that with those. He's got long arms, even though he's only 5'10".
Hedstrom will try a 3. How about that?
You know things are going right when your 7-footer stepping out, knocking 3s down, but he's got that ability. He's got that kind of touch.
Nice dish off, and Volkovich gets his first basket tonight. 60-45 though. Hopkins with a 15-point lead. Davis, a lot of blue jerseys around him. It's out of bounds off of Hedstrom.
Yeah, there looked to be a little bit of contact there. Let's see. I don't know. That might have just been good hands by Gallinson there.
Camden Heide and Cody Williams in for Wayzata. It's Williams bringing it into the front court. 12:40 to go, second half. Williams. Now it's Hale back out. Volkovich hands off. Benega comes around. 3 missed and rebounded by Walton. Walton, the big score last year when he was at Breck, and he travels here.
I'll tell you, that last shot by Benega was lined up right where we're sitting, and it looked dead on. You can see Wayzata's been short on some of their jump shots here in the second half. And that's what's going to happen when you're playing in a fast-paced game like that. You got to tell yourself, I'm going to need a little bit more legs. I don't want to miss short.
Benega lost it on the drive, trying to get it back, scramble for it, and here comes Davis. Anthony Davis off for Woods, back for Anthony Davis. Follow up by Zimmer, not good. Another try by Woods wouldn't go, out of bounds off Wayzata.
Well, Anthony Davis did all that with one shoe. That shoe came off in that scrabble. Look at him running down the court with only one shoe. And almost finished that. And then this is why Wayzata's having trouble tonight. Look at how many offensive chances Hopkins gets. And even though they didn't convert, it's still their ball underneath out of bounds. It's hard in transition to box out especially.
Davis with both shoes back on, inbounds. Najee from Zimmer scores.
That was a nice play, out of bounds play, a set play. And you can see Zimmer popped and Najee just posted really big right under the rim. And there's really nothing you can do about it.
Pass intended for Hale, picked off by Woods. Anthony Davis with a 3. That's not good. Follow up. Zimmer's got 2 more.
I'll tell you what, Zimmer's having the game of the year so far for himself. He's just been a monster Seems like wherever the ball is, that's where he is, and he's got that long arm, too, able to finish at the rim. Nice job.
Nice to have a 6'7" guy who can finish and score like that coming off the bench for you. Paulson turns, 3 is short. Najee's got to reach up for the ball. Davis lobbing it ahead, 2 more for Zimmer.
And again, you see, that's what Coach Schnettler talked about, taking maybe a quick shot, a quick 3, and look at Hopkins just get out and run, and Anthony Davis, the assist man again tonight. And I'll tell you what, when you got bigs that can run the floor like Zimmer can, like Davis, well, he pushes the ball, but Najee, Hedstrom, Zimmer, it's tough to defend. You just got to sprint back and get back on D. Wayzata's so used to shooting and following their shot or offensive rebound, you almost got to give that up and just say, the heck with offensive rebounds, let's get back and stop their transition.
They've put up 23 points in the first 6:49 here of the second half. Coach Schnettler not liking the way things have gone on the defensive end, brought his team into the huddle and giving them some good words of advice, I'm sure.
And it's funny because that last play really encapsulates what he said they can't do to win this game. Take a quick shot and then not get back on defense, and that's exactly what happened. So you think about it, it's really a 5-point swing. That's a 3 that they were making in the first half. You miss that, and then not only do you miss, but you give up an easy transition layup as well.
Yeah, they have not made a 3 here in the second half as you look at the numbers for Dean Zimmer tonight.
He's been phenomenal. You know, and playing against Hopkins is so unlike playing against any other team because no other team has that kind of length and athleticism. So you almost got to gear up for it and just coach that week. Hey, we're not going to crash the boards. Defensive transition is our key to winning this game.
66-45, Hopkins. Najee gets a hand and deflects it up into the crowd.
It's like a hockey puck going into the crowd. You got to always be ready. Nice catch by one of the parents up there. Almost hit my son Max right in the nose. He wasn't paying attention.
Drive on the baseline by Camden Heide. Good pass to Paulson. They work it back out to Hale. Williams, he'll penetrate, had it knocked away. Najee ahead to Woods. Behind the back, hands it off. Najee up and in.
Well, that time I thought Wayzata overpassed. Connor Hale had an open look. He's got to be able to shoot that shot. They over-penetrated, and again, transition. Nice job just being able to hang on to the ball by Woods. You give it to Najee, who certainly knows how to finish. I'd like to see Najee throw a couple of those down.
All right.
Yeah.
Williams, 3. Not good. Woods. Davis. Here we go. He jinxed him because he missed it.
Oh, he heard me. Obviously, he was listening to me.
He gave it a try. Williams will drive. Najee getting back defensively, but he have enough body on him that he draws the foul. Williams going to shoot. Look at it again.
It was kind of an awkward, it was great hustle that time to get back by Cody Williams. He almost hit Najee's leg. So he had kind of an awkward angle, if you will, trying to finish that. It wasn't a question of was he up high enough, because he definitely was.
Williams free throw up and in.
But what a difference, right, between the start of the first half and the second half, just with how Wayzata's shooting the basketball. Nothing able to go in right now, and they came out just shooting the heck out of the basketball from the three-point line. And that's the thing. They're so dependent on being a great shooting team that if they have a spurt or a half or 5-10 minutes where they don't shoot it well, especially against a team like Hopkins, that's when the score can, start rising on you.
But how good is Hopkins, though? This looks like it's shaping up to be their 23rd straight win.
Well, and I've seen Creighton, too.
Najee, that shot won't go.
I think Hopkins' best, to me, is as good or better than anyone else in the state. I know Apple Valley has Trey Jones, and I think he's the best player in the state, but when you got this kind of length and depth, too, especially if you get, Dane Zimmer playing the way he's playing tonight, coming off the bench, I mean, that's just difficult.
Trey Jones is great, isn't he? Najee gets fouled in the paint.
You know, I was such a big fan of McKinley Wright from Champlain Park, and we did a bunch of his games, and I thought he was as good as anyone I've seen in a long, long time. And what Trey Jones did to him in the state championship game and defended him made me a real believer in how good Trey Jones is.
Zimmer a little too strong on the inbound, and then Najee gets fouled, and they'll go to the line for 2.
Well, you know you're a good offensive rebounding team when you're fighting with each other to see who's going to get the offensive rebound. Time Zimmer and Najee both battling for it. Najee says, I'll take that.
1 out of 2, and now 2 out of 3 from the line tonight. 20 points for the junior, and that last foul on Keaton Heide is his 4th.
And he's right at his average, 19.7.
Leading scorer this year for Hopkins, leading scorer tonight. And the lead is 23 as we near the midway point of the second half. Keaton Heide short, rebounded by Jonas. Baseline left, Benega, not good. Gallinson slaps it out to the perimeter to Paulson, and it's back into the hands of Heide. Now Paulson again, penetrates, kicks off to Gallinson. In the corner, back out, open as Paulson. Boy, those threes just not going for Wayzata in the second half.
Well, and you notice they're short, too. Every one of them's short.
Woods cut off in the baseline. He'll go back out. Beauchamp.
Oh, nice look.
And Zimmer traveled. I don't know if he wasn't expecting the pass or just didn't handle it well, and it's travel on the turnover.
I think he thought Beauchamp was going to shoot that, so his eyes were up a little bit. But, hey, again, that's a problem that a coach loves to see overpassing, right? You love when your kids are being unselfish and looking for their teammates.
70-47. Gallinson off to Cody Williams. Paulson to Gallinson. Gallinson, no threes here in the second half after making 3 in the first half. Penetrates here, lost it, gets it back, missed, and rebounded by Najee. Ahead into the front court. Here's DJ Davis. Woods and now Beauchamp. Back out to Woods.
It's been kind of a fun one-on-one matchup, hasn't it? Beauchamp against Benega, both so quick. And
Beauchamp 3 is good.
That was a deep one. And you can see, and Benega was in a pretty good spot as far as, contesting that. That was just a quick release.
12 points now for Blaise Beauchamp. Gallinson, nice play to Paulson, but he couldn't finish on the reverse layup, and then a foul on Jonas.
That's a beautiful play, right? You got the guy driving, and the strong side guy on the baseline's cutting back door. Excellent play design. But again, that's just where that length, I think it really deters with people's heads. Even if they're not going to block it, you're worried about it, so you change the loft or the angle or the spin, or it just gets in guys' heads. And that's where having a 7-footer and a 6'10", 6'11" guy could just mess with you.
Whistle, what do we have here? It's like a foul on Wayzata.
Third personal Wayzata's number 15, Drew
on Drew Gallinson.
Well, you love the effort. I mean, Drew's 6'2", and he's guarding Zeke Najee. He's giving up about 7 or 8 inches. And he's fighting down there, not trying to give him easy position.
Hedstrom back to Davis. Davis gave the pass, then took it back and scored.
It's the old give and go, right? You hit the big post, and your defender turns his head, and you cut right to the basket. Anthony Davis, so athletic, too, at finishing.
Only 8 points tonight, but I thought he's played a very strong game.
8 points. I bet he's got 6 to 8 assists. And you can see it just for a second there. Cody Williams, number 22, he turned his head, so he was watching the ball. And a nice unselfish pass by the big fella, too.
32nd timeout here for Wayzata.
and you think, too, how they've built this lead. First half, it was really everything within 5 feet of the basket, right? Offensive rebounds, Najee down low, second chance points. In the second half, they've come out and they've shot the ball really well from 3. I think they have 4 or 5 3-pointers. So they got transition, they got perimeter shooting, and they also have length. So they really have all 3 components, and that's what makes them so dangerous. If you rely just on your size, then you're vulnerable to teams that maybe are quick and speed. If you rely just on your jump shooting, much like Wayzata does, if you're having an off night, then you're doomed, right? But if you can adapt to whatever style, that game predicates, then you really got a chance to be special.
6.5 minutes to play, and offensive foul here on Beauchamp.
I mean, that's pressure defense. Hopkins upset thinking that there should have been a call foul against Benega. And anytime you get that arm extended like that, that's referee 101. They're going to call the push off.
Paulson off to Williams. Here's Paulson and Jonas, and he's blocked from behind, but Davis got some arm too and picks up the foul.
Nice play. They got into the paint there. And a nice little touch pass, and Jonas thought he was in the clear here, but watch this from the right of our screen there. There's Anthony Davis. Got the ball, but you see he followed down, definitely got some body as well.
First free throw good for Tanner Jonas, 6'5" senior. Second one not good. Jonas gets it back, or had it back, and now it's DJ Davis. Hopkins will run. Beauchamp for 3 and out of play.
Grant Bokovitz back in for the Trojans.
Grant Bokovitz back in for Wayzata, and Tanner Jonas out.
Oh, nice play.
And a finish for Paulson.
I don't know if that's a set action or if they're just reading it, but it's a couple times you've gotten Paulson on this back door and Gallinson with a beautiful pass. And that's how you finish. You just go hard at the rim. Don't worry about shot blockers. And that time Paulson able to get the basket and a chance for a 3-point play.
Paulson able to convert, finish off the 3-point play. Walton out high with it for Hopkins. So hand off. DJ Davis, now Anthony Davis. Walton 3, left side is good.
And again, their outside shooting's been phenomenal in the second half. And they just have so many weapons too. Curran Walton is kind of the guy you forget about, and all of a sudden, what's he end up with? 8, 10 points,
Benega for 3. Wayzata cannot buy a 3 here in the second. Had 7 in the first half and not made one here in the second half. Davis, he misses on this 3. Long rebound comes to Cody Williams. Ahead to Gallinson. He'll attack the basket and score.
And again, going strong. He made his mind up. He was going to get to the rim. Didn't worry about a shot blocker. And just like that, about a second and a half later, there's an easy basket in transition for DJ Davis.
No one back to defend DJ Davis. Gallinson to the corner. 3. Paulson is good. There's the 3 for Wayzata.
Is that their first one, John?
First one in the second half. After probably at least 8 misses. And Paulson commits the foul on Davis, who went sprawling.
Wayzata ball number 12, Luke Paulson is first.
Hale back in along with Camden Heidi. Benega and Gallinson out.
Camden Heidi in for Wayzata.
Walton, one dribble, Hedstrom lobs it down. Najee catch and shoot.
That's old school high-low basketball. When you got 2 big posts, the weak side guy flashes right at the free throw line. Nice job by Najee to seal him, and a nice pass by Hedstrom too, keeping that ball up high where only Najee could get it. Najee able to just catch and finish. Beautiful offense.
There's a steal for DJ Davis. Up and in. And then Najee came from behind and grabbed the rim, looking for a loose ball, and wipes out the 2 points for Davis.
That's where you're Davis. You're upset. You wanted that. You want the 2 points here. That ball was clearly going to go in. And if you're Najee, you wanted a dunk, right? You've had a number of high-flying layups, a missed dunk. You wanted the tip dunk. So I get both sides, but that's where, Davis is telling him, leave that one go, buddy. I need the points.
Williams will drive and score.
And that's the thing. The baskets are there against Hopkins if you just are quick and you just attack. You don't think about shot blocker. You just go.
Whistle and a foul on Wayzata. This will be their 6th team foul of the second half.
And that's the other part of Anthony Davis's game. He's a 6'3" point guard basically, and he's got great handle. And he's just one of those guys you know is going to make good decisions. Not going to turn the ball over.
Walton. DJ Davis to Anthony Davis. Back out. DJ Davis 3. In and out. Rebounded by Williams. Williams attacking. Out. Corner 3. Not good. And rebounded. And the quick outlet ahead. Anthony Davis. Great pass from Zimmer. And Anthony Davis finishes.
And you can tell they're bigs for Hopkins. They're trained. They get a rebound. They don't look for the point guard. They're looking down the floor. And Kevin Love would be proud with some of these outlet passes because they're getting their guards some nice, easy layups in transition.
Whistle and a foul. This will be on Davis. Anthony, his 4th. Looks like it's going to be a Hopkins sweep tonight in the Lake Conference girls basketball tonight. Hopkins up 57-25 on unbeaten Wayzata, a team that had beaten Hopkins
earlier,
in this gym, but Hopkins taking it to the Trojans tonight.
Well, you talked about the Hopkins-Wayzata boys clash that could be in the section, but how about that girls clash? That's going to be, with both of them winning one game, that's going to be a heck of a finals there.
Nowhere to go for Bokovic on that one, and Hopkins comes out of there with the basketball. Beauchamp out, long 2 for Hedstrom. Ball tipped, not good, and we get a foul. It's going to be a Wayzata foul. And a 1-and-1 here. Connor Hale picking up the foul.
Well, and there's a look at Trey Williams. He's the JV hero tonight. He's the one for Hopkins. Hit a 3-pointer with 1 second left to put the Hopkins junior varsity team over Wayzata.
6'6" senior, number 4 in to the game now. Kawan Walton in for Hopkins. Josh Fogel in for the Royals.
But even a guy like Akeen Woods, he's 6'3". He looks long too when he's out there. He's a senior, big, strong kid. I think one of the underrated things about Hopkins is their depth. I mean, how much they can bring off the bench. You know, with Akeen Woods, with DJ Davis, and specifically with Dane Zimmer, and what he brings to the table too. They got some good depth.
Kick out pass for Hale, way long and out of bounds.
When I thought earlier in the game, Connor Hale passed on some of those shots. He had a couple of open looks and didn't take them, was a little tentative. And maybe, you know, you get into a little bit more of a rhythm if he would have taken some of those shots earlier in the game.
Zimmer in a lot of traffic, able to score.
I tell you, he's like a magnet, though. He gets that ball, he's going to grab it. He's going to be the one that ends up with it. And he goes up. He finishes really nicely, too. He'd start for 99% of the other high school programs in the state.
Annis gets his drive blocked by Zimmer. And coming out of there with it for Hopkins is Trey Williams. Now it's Vogel driving. Can't get it to go. Trojans with the rebound as we wind down toward a minute to play here in the second half. Hale, kick out to Williams. Williams now to Hale. Back out. Camden Heide a three.
He's got a nice looking shot. And again, only in 8th grade, but you could tell just how he was able to hit that. Had a nice reverse layup in the first half. He's going to end up with here 5 points, but he's going to be a special player, I think.
Vogel for Zimmer and 2 more.
Basket by Dane Zimmer.
Officials timeout. The Royals wanted to get a couple more players into the lineup.
Number 33.
Elijah Davis in.
Checks in for Hopkins.
Dane Zimmer with 19 points off the bench.
Hale up and in at the other end. Scores for Wayzata. It's his first point tonight. Orlando Thomas, number 33, in for Hopkins. Final seconds of the game. Hopkins Royals, a late surge late in the first half, Ryan, and a great start to the second half. Then ends up as a blowout, 89-63, in a game that certainly didn't start out that way.
Well, I think you go back to the first 2 minutes when they, what was it, 7 quick points maybe, and just like that, the game kind of got out of hand. And you add in that, Wayzata struggled shooting from the perimeter, and Hopkins not only continued the powerful inside game, they also added the outside jump shot in the second half. Really, really good game.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. Our post game from Wayzata High School after this timeout. (89-63), Hopkins the winner. Let's go down to Ryan Iverson standing by with 2 Royals players.
Hey, John, I'm with a couple of winning Hopkins Royals. I got Zeke Naji, Dane Zimmer. Dane, I'm going to start with you. You didn't want to be interviewed. You just had 19 points. You were a beast down low, blocking shots, rebounding, scoring. How did it feel tonight?
I felt great. We were just getting the ball inside, and it was working for us.
How good is this team when you guys are playing like that? You just beat a really good Wayzata team.
I mean, I don't think we can be beaten when we're getting it in and just doing everything that we need to on defense.
One of the things I love, too, with your size, how well you big guys get up and down the floor, transition. Is that something you know if you run hard, you're going to get rewarded?
Yeah, Novak tells us to run right to the rim, and if we post hard, we'll get the ball, and we'll get an easy bucket.
Only 19 points. Can we get 30 out of you next time?
We'll see.
Congratulations on a great game. All right, I'm over with big fella Zeke Naji. Before I get into how great you were, we got to talk about the missed dunk. What was up with that?
Oh, I don't even know. I mean,
I thought I got fouled, you know. I went up, he clipped me, but
It looked like a weird angle. What was funny, Zeke, is right before that play, you had a layup. I said, I need the big fella to throw it down for me. I jinxed you. The next play down, you went out. At least you went for it, but missed it.
yeah. I just go for whatever I can.
I mean, I was talking first half before the game. I mean, your size, all collectively, but yours in particular, really at this level is you don't see it anywhere else. Inside first half, you guys dominated. Second half, you were able to shoot from the perimeter and have size. When you guys play like that, I mean, who's going to beat you?
I mean, this is what we work on in practice every day. You know, we try to go inside out. You know, because when we go inside and we're successful inside, everyone clogs the lane, and then that allows us to shoot the ball. So I mean, we just executed well today, and we were able to get a good win.
Someone that loves old school basketball, that high-low between Joe and yourself, I mean, it's unguardable. Is that something you guys work on a lot too?
Oh, definitely. We work on that a lot, you know. We work on seal and then flash high post, turn inside, and then easy pass right there.
And the other thing I think you guys do so well is you turn defense into offense. A missed shot, a block shot, a rebound. You guys look like you're automatically looking down, not just for your point guard, but looking to see who's running. Is that something you guys talk about and work on every day as well?
Oh, definitely. Coach loves the fast break, you know, not the cheap one where you leak out, but actual getting stops, turning it into fast break offense, you know. That's why we average so many points, because we're always trying to, once we get it, push it as fast as we can, because that gives us an opportunity to get easy buckets when the defense is not set up.
Talk a little bit, most important question tonight, who's the best dunker on your team?
I don't know. I like to say myself. I'd like to say myself, you know. I mean.
Next time we do a game, can you give us a made dunk for us? Is that cool? All right, brother. Congratulations on the game. Great job.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, John, back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Ryan, and thanks to Dane and Zeke, two great players tonight. Really a team effort for Hopkins, able to get the inside points, the transition points, and then in the second half, the three-pointers that really helped them pull away in this one. They average 79 a game. They get 89 tonight. They get their 23rd win of the season and are now 6-0 in the Lake Conference. Wayzata falls to 14-8, 3-2 in Lake Conference games. That does it for our telecast tonight from Wayzata High School. And for Ryan Iverson and all of our great crew, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hopkins, a winner again. Number 2 in the state, and they win it over Wayzata. 89-63, the final.